I'm from Calgary, Canada. I was 32 years in the Canadian Forces and also high school principal, and so 30 years pretty well in the Calgary Board of Education. Probably about 10 years ago, I had an ear infection in my left ear, and of course suffered some vertigo in the middle of the night and got violently sick. I believe I tore all my fascia in the back of my head. And then 2 or 3 months after, my Ford 150 was smashed from behind by 2 big trucks and it got destroyed. So I had a whiplash, I believe. But I pretty well ignored a lot of those things, just moving around, living my life. Fairly athletic things. I like to work out and stuff. Now I'm 62 years of age, and every so often, and maybe more often, I'm starting to have like the head fog and sore necks, and just recently, probably about 5 weeks ago, I had another vertigo attack in the middle of the night, 2 in the morning, and it was during that time I was spinning around and I passed out and hit my head on the shower and the floor. Ended up with a concussion. So I saw a really good chiropractor in Calgary, and of course went to my general practitioner too, who did a full medical on me, and twice, 2 visits to see him and x-rays, and it turned out to be that I'm a pretty healthy, well-fit fellow. But if I'm a healthy, well-fit fellow, why am I feeling so bad all the time and waking up in the middle of the night, and just my whole head as if it was off-centered, off-balance, unstable, unsteady, feeling flushed, having to go to the washroom a little more often, and also just in need of getting an ice pack on my head to kind of relieve it, and almost feeling like maybe I'm going to get sick again, and the fear of vertigo returning. So my chiropractor in Calgary, Canada had taken some classes, I believe, and studying here in the States, and told me to go and see this gentleman. So she handed me a piece of paper and she said, if you're on a holiday down in Arizona and you get some opportunity, go see Dr. Russ Teams. Well, lo and behold, I arrived down here after 2 days of driving, and things seemed to be getting progressively worse. It was like every 2 hours I was up and at him in the middle of the night or during the day, trying to walk off all my issues and problems I had with my head. So I came to see Dr. Russ, and I went through 2 hours on the first day, 1 hour of assessment, and then 1 hour of treatment of various exercises. And lo and behold, so if we give it to a 75 to 85% pain factor, I'm now down after the 24 hours, probably in around 50% or less. Still some tenseness on my left ear. You know, this kind of thing sends signals to you with tinnitus and a variety of other things that perhaps you have Meniere's disease, which is terrible if you ever have to suffer from that. So that was my big anxiety of everything. But I started to get a message that maybe it's not that. Maybe it is my neck. Maybe it is my head and some factors with my brain from the accidents and things from 10 years ago. So Dr. Teams booked me in, and his team here, we did 3 days the following week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and here I am. Now it's from the 85% down to probably 25% or less. I can drive the car safely now. I'm not waking up in the middle of the night. Dr. Teams is giving me exercises. I'm doing some little bit of video game lining up, and I feel like what happened to the head fog is almost gone. And certainly I can walk my dogs and go around the neighborhood and drive my car without feeling like I'm going to fall over. So we're in the right direction. I believe we nailed it on the head, and I got a good doctor in Calgary, good GP, but he's not in big favor of the chiropractor. So if I was a wealthy man, maybe I'd send him here to spend a few days with Dr. Teams to change his outlook on how chiropractic can really help you.
Awesome.
So that's me right now, and I'm hoping that this will continue to better health for me and maybe a longer, healthier life too.
Very good. Would you, last kind of thing that we like to ask people is, would you recommend people reach out to us if they have any issues?
Yes, of course, our good neighbors that live across the street from where I am here in Gilbert right now were over last night, and she starts telling me about how she has some of the same issues, and it doesn't come on as frequent as what mine was, but then she's a much younger person too, so cumulative effects would probably hit her later. So right away she was interested in everything I had to say. We left Dr. Teams and Dr. Barry's card with her, and she's anticipating if things get worse for her, she's going to come on by for sure. And she has another chiropractor, but she still hasn't had that ultimate relief from some of the symptoms she's been feeling, much like mine. So yeah, I certainly recommend it. And just like my chiropractor in Canada recommended I see doctor teams, which has been a big plus. So I go back to Canada this weekend, and I'll be touching base with my chiropractor, and so has Dr. Russ here. He's touched base also with my chiropractor in Calgary. So I hope that the continued colleague professional relationship will eventually help everybody involved. So I think I'm on the right track, and I'm smiling today.
All right.